Can you believe that Carl Wheezer was impregnated by an alien against his will? That's right. Who's Your Mommy premiered during season 3 of Jimmy Neutron, just a few months before the first ever Guitar Hero game was released. And this episode features Carl Wheezer having an alien fetus pumped down his throat by another alien. Carl's plan is to then carry the baby to term and to have a natural birth, which is absolutely insane. And honestly, Carl's Mpreg episode has always stuck with me ever since I first saw it. I really don't understand why Nickelodeon had such a thing for male pregnancy plot lines. They did it here, and they did it again just a few years later with Cosmo in Fairly Odd Parents. And what I remember the most from this episode is Carl's massive dump truck ass, and an underlying feeling of dread that Carl might die during childbirth. And since it's been a cool 20 years since this episode premiered, and Carl's baby would be less than a year away from being able to enter a bar, I definitely think it's time to take a look back to see if I was just being a big baby when I first saw this episode, or if Carl's pregnancy is really as traumatizing as I remember. As always, if you like this video, maybe consider throwing us a like and subscribing. I might just hit my own ass with a racquetball racket 156 times in a row if you do. And if you have any other episodes or shows you want me to cover, let me know down in the comments. All right, let's dive in. Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen all return to planet Schmengi to find the Ultralord figure that Sheen left behind when they were here a week ago. Jimmy notices some crazy looking alien shit that wasn't there before and tells Carl to go scrape him a sample of it. Jimmy, you have arms too, buddy. And honestly, this thing is so uncomfortable looking, and Carl scraping it with the knife is just extremely upsetting. I don't like it. Also, Jimmy is a complete and utter asshole here. He is okay with putting Carl in danger without a second thought.
Don't worry, Carl. I'm completely safe.
Well, yeah, but...
Carl ends up scraping the weird alien egg thing with too much oomph, and it straight up squirts all over him. Carl turns around and has a face hugger from Alien wrapped around his head, and I'm pretty sure that thing is actively breeding him. Jimmy rushes everyone home to run some tests on the weird alien creature thing while it continues pumping a baby deep into Carl's throat. Jimmy finds out that the creature is made of pure energy and decides to execute it point blank with some lasers to get it off of Carl's face. Yeah, that thing's dead. The boys head to the candy bar to celebrate the murder of an innocent alien life form, and Carl orders one of the most disgusting things I've ever laid eyes on.
Bowl of ice cream, jalapenos, dill pickles, strawberry, salmon, and lard.
Why would a restaurant centered around candy and desserts even have a giant fish head on hand? Carl goes through some weird mood swings and decides to just fuck off, but as he's walking away, Jimmy and Sheen are dumbstruck to see a giant glowing tumor growing on Carl's lower spine? Upon seeing this shit, Jimmy takes Carl to the lab and runs more tests on him. Jimmy then figures out that Carl is pregnant from the face hugger alien earlier.
Carl is pregnant?
What?
It blasted some form of alien semen down his throat, and I kinda love that Carl's biggest concern in this moment is that he can't support an alien baby because he doesn't have a job.
But I can't support an alien child. I don't even have a job.
Jimmy says he needs some time to think about what to do next. And honestly, Jimmy's probably figuring out how to give Carl an alien abortion. And a scene of Jimmy performing an alien abortion on Carl would have been absolutely mental. Later at school, Carl is again slurping down some horrifying food combinations when Jimmy walks in and says he figured out how to separate Carl and the alien baby without hurting either one of them. But Carl decides he wants to carry the baby to term and have a natural birth. Later, Jimmy shows up at Carl's house and he finds that Carl's parents are actually thrilled for the alien baby to arrive. And my God, Carl's ass is fucking huge! Throw that shit back, Wheezer. When his dad slapped it, I gagged a little. Okay, so that's why I remember the alien being straight up in his ass cheeks and not just on his spine. It starts out just on his lower spine and extends rapidly from there. My God. Jimmy pulls Carl to his lab against his will and brings up some very good points when trying to convince him not to have a natural birth with the alien baby.
This thing might feed off your insides or electrocute you or grow until it splits you in half.
Yeah, kids can be a handful.
And Carl just doesn't want to hear it. My God, I'm sorry, but Carl's ass is making me want to act up right now. Carl heads out to the baby shower that the girls from school are throwing for him, and they somehow got him an alien baby jumper. Where the hell did they get an alien baby item? What store in Retroville sells that? Right as they start playing some games, Jimmy busts in and crashes the party. Jimmy again tries to push the alien abortion separation procedure on Carl, and Carl reiterates that he wants to carry the baby to term and have a natural birth. The baby shower crew backs Carl up and tells Jimmy to just fuck off already, and Jimmy's response is extremely unhinged.
Oh, fine! If you need help sweeping up Carl's ashes, I'll be in my lab.
But just as Jimmy storms out, the lights at the baby shower go dark. We then see a giant alien jellyfish sucking energy from people's houses, presumably looking for its child? Okay, quick sidebar. If this alien species gives birth to its young through eggs, why did its offspring not produce the baby through an egg as well? Why did it have to actually impregnate Carl? Jimmy and Sheen then realize the alien is looking for its baby and try to think of a plan to save Carl. Hopefully the alien is looking for the baby that Carl is pregnant with and not the one they killed earlier in the episode through laser execution, or else Mama's gonna be really upset. And then there's a citywide blackout caused by the alien, and I'm only bringing this up because I really like this scene with Hugh.
This electricity bill is outrageous, and I won't pay it. Ooh, I didn't know you were so strapped for cash. Will you take a check?
That shit's funny. Back with the boys, Sheen is trying to distract Carl while Jimmy is trying to lure the mother alien away, and during all this crazy shit, Carl's water audibly breaks.
It's time.
And I'm disgusted. Carl then runs up to Jimmy and stops him just seconds before he murders the alien's mother, and Carl says he knows why the jellyfish alien is here. He then turns around and shits out the baby alien jellyfish, and that's that. Damn, bro. Honestly, Jimmy killed the initial alien baby that wrapped around Carl's face and did not even think twice about having to kill the mother alien as well. He's fucking evil. Carl says a quick goodbye to his child, and the alien mother and child fly off together back to their home planet. A month later, the boys are visiting Carl's child, Schmengo, for his birthday party. And I guess it's kind of cute that Carl stays in the baby's life and occasionally visits, but there's a few things. How does the alien have siblings now if the only way they can be birthed is through the bodies of another living being, and the planet they live on is also abandoned? Second, it's been a month, but they're already celebrating his birthday? Huh? If we're being realistic, nothing about this episode was cute, and quite frankly, it should have never been made in the first place. I don't know if someone at Nickelodeon had a male pregnancy fetish or what, but I find it a little more than just concerning that both Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents had male pregnancy storylines, both within a few years of each other. It's just unpleasant. There is no other way to put it. I mean, who wants to watch an underage boy get impregnated by an alien against his will and then carry the baby in his ass cheeks? Who asked for this? I think this episode also highlights Jimmy and is the perfect example of why he's an unlikable and aggressive protagonist to have as the main character of the show. Jimmy was willing to put Carl in danger just to collect some stupid alien samples for him, which is what got them into this mess in the first place. Jimmy lashes out at Carl when he doesn't accept the alien abortion in one of the rudest ways possible, and Jimmy is even willing to murder the alien mother without a second thought, until Carl stops him at the last second. Jimmy is a cold-hearted and mean person, and this episode really highlights that. I just really don't understand why Nickelodeon went through with producing and even releasing this episode. It's traumatizing, upsetting, disgusting, and a bunch of other negative words. Yeah, sure, it's stuck with me all these years later, but for all the wrong reasons. The episode was so deeply unsettling to me that it had been burned into my brain ever since I first saw it on Nickelodeon, and I've been carrying around this burden with me throughout my entire life, and I don't think I'll be forgetting this one anytime soon. But enough of me yapping. What do you guys think of Carl Wheezer getting impregnated against his will? Did this one mess you up on a subconscious level as a kid? Or were you lucky enough to miss out on this one back in the day? Let me know in the comments, and let's kick it. If you watch this long, please consider subscribing and maybe checking out some other videos. I'll mow my front yard with my mouth by slowly chewing one blade of grass at a time, if you do. And as always, I have to give a wet, slimy, slippery shout out to the channel members and Patreon members. This haiku is gonna get you going for sure. Pucker your soft lips and blow in my gaping hole. I'm the balloon boy. All right, I literally cannot say this enough, but you guys mean everything to me. Forget about it. Take everything you know in your mind, and that's how much you mean to me plus some. If you're still here, if you're still watching at this point, congratulations. I think you're awesome. And I think you should have an Italian dinner sometime soon. Maybe some spaghetti and meatballs. I don't know. All right. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for listening.